This is a man's world. Y'all know those lyrics. Very familiar lyrics by the late, great Mr. James Brown. It was February 16th, 1966. I wasn't even born yet. But that song had already hit #1 on the R&B Billboard charts. That "this is a man's world" mentality had already swept the nation. A year later, here I come. This little brown-skinned, kinky-haired, chubby little girl, born into this man's world, not knowing that I would feel the effects of those lyrics in my own life as I had the audacity to step into a male-dominated field. I mean, who was I to think that I could do more, be more, and have more in this man's world? What am I talking about? I am referring to gender bias, which by definition is the prejudiced thoughts and actions that's based on the perception that women are not equal to men in rights or in dignity. And believe me, it is real. I mean, gender bias was knocking on my door before I even had a chance to walk through it. But here I stand, after 20 years in private practice, as a trailblazer, a waymaker, a door opener for any woman who would dare follow in my footsteps. I am beyond honored to be a part of a rare, select, elite group of women as a Black female oral and maxillofacial surgeon. So today I want to talk to you about how my experiences with gender bias actually became the bridge to the breakthrough for other women. Gender bias, what does it look like? What does it feel like? And how can you win in spite of it? I have to be honest with you. I love performing surgeries. I just love it. And I was great at it. So you would think that my surgical prowess and my unicorn status would open up all these doors of opportunity in this career. But I quickly found out that was not the case. From the very beginning, when I made the decision to step into this career, I had to meet with a gentleman who seemingly had the key to my destiny. I sat in his office. I looked at him with all that gray hair and those black frame glasses sliding down his nose as he told me, maybe you should consider a career more fitting for women. Against his recommendation, I was accepted to and completed a very rigorous and difficult 4-year hospital-based residency program. I graduated with the highest accolade that any surgical resident could achieve. My male superior walked over to me and said, "Congratulations, you made it." Because as a rule, we are harder on women than we are men because we just want to make sure you got what it takes. Moving on, I relocated back to Dallas, and I was excited because all I wanted to do was teach. I wanted to show young doctors what was possible. But lo and behold, when I scheduled that interview, I had to meet with that same man in that same office with those same black frame glasses on. But I noticed he had much less hair this time. So we conduct the interview, and I think it's going great. But he told me, "We don't have any openings for a professor in the oral surgery department." I left that interview so deflated, but I was hopeful, only to find out my male colleague got the same position that I interviewed for. And I couldn't even call it racism because my colleague was Black. So it wasn't the color of my skin that they couldn't tolerate. It was the curves in these hips that they didn't have room for. So occurrence after occurrence, gender bias planted seeds of rejection that yielded a harvest of intimidation. So what did I do? I hid. I hid my face from all marketing material. I didn't want anybody to know that I was a female. Oh, but the patient's gonna find out. When I walk in that consultation room to discuss their surgery, and I just laugh and say, "I know I'm not what you expected." But in my mind, I'm thinking, it's too late now. We already got your money, so we might as well do this. But speaking of money, I will never know the financial impact that my gender bias generated insecurities had on my practice. But what I do know, somebody owes me a check. And I think it's that man with those black frame glasses. So I'm practicing, but I'm still hiding. I'm even hiding behind my name. I practiced under my maiden name, Dr. Oliver. Doesn't that sound masculine? I did everything I could think of to fit into the good old boys club. I took golf lessons, hated it. I hung out at the local cigar lounges, hated it. So I would go to those meetings and I would feel unseen, unheard, and unworthy. Until I had a conversation with a young lady, we just gonna call her Becky. It was a large anesthesia conference. I walked up to Becky's table where she had all of the equipment. She immediately went into her presentation, and I'm nodding my head as she's telling me all these things I already know, but she was talking to me like I was somebody's assistant. I continued to nod my head, listening to her stumble over words like laryngoscopy and capnography, and when she finished her presentation, she asked, "So, what surgeon do you work for?" At that moment, with that question, my life changed. I introduced myself to Becky with my whole government name. I said, "I am Dr. Faith Linnell Oliver Robertson, Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeon," and I was heavy on the doctor. Becky turned beet red. She tried to apologize, but I said, no. You don't owe me an apology. I owe you an apology. I apologize for giving you the space to put a label on me. I apologize for not showing up confident in who I am and what I bring to the table. I apologize for allowing you to put me in a box that was never created for me to fit in. That conversation became the catalyst for my confidence. That conversation began my mission to empower women. Come to think of it, y'all, I might owe Becky a check. Because here I stand today as a chief life strategist and spiritual coach for women. I have retired from private practice. Oh, but trust me, I am still a surgeon. I am still focused and I am still precise. I just cut with a different blade. Like a surgeon, I still get to the heart of the matter using some of my same surgical techniques. So instead of being called to the emergency room for trauma and broken bones and pathology and infections that have gotten out of control, now I am called on by women who need help healing from past traumas. Their broken lives need to be mended. They need help escaping the pathology from toxic situations. They need an incision and drainage from the infection, no matter if it's caused by a foreign body or a buildup of negativity. It has ruined their self-esteem. I empower women to walk in confidence and to own their feminine power and to stand in their greatness. I don't want them to hide like I did. I don't want them to try to fit in like I did. That proverbial glass ceiling, it now becomes the floor. And it will hold you, because even though what you're carrying is so great, your stride is light. They can never look over you because your gift is so big. They can't get around you because your reach is so vast. And they could never deny you, because when you enter the room, you silently scream, "I am the one." So, with all due respect, Mr. James Brown, there may be some truth to this is a man's world, but in this man's world, a woman can be a beacon of light and hope. A woman can use her surgical skills to cut away that negative way of thinking. A woman in this man's world can do it, be it, and have it all, because it was actually Whitney Houston that got it right when she said, I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Thank you.